Jesus.
So, Dark Side of the Ring, we want to talk about that. Tammy Sytch and Chris Candido. I was saying before, it would have been awesome to see her in a fucking jumpsuit, looking haggard, telling her side of things for like a 2 hour. They could have focused on both, but
yeah, I don't know, man.
Either way, Vice is going bankrupt, and I'm just glad that fucking Dark Side of the Ring is getting a new season. So thank you. And this was a tremendous episode, and I got tremendously emotional.
How many times has Sunny's story been told?
Yeah, like she's like a greasy whack-a-mole, dude. She just keeps popping up out of nowhere every year or two.
And then how many times has Chris Candido's story been told?
He's one of the most underrated, slept on tragedies ever in pro wrestling that people don't even know if you say his name, and people should know him.
Right. There you go.
Boom.
Okay, let's get in this episode. This was an episode full of substance abuse, alcohol abuse, cheating.
What?
There's a bunch of cheating. Yeah. There's a whole man, Chris Candido, bro.
And I feel like the cheating doesn't even man, if you go on YouTube and you look up, just like stories about Tammy Sytch, the shit she did, that the stories other people have of things they witnessed, and that
maybe it could be the next Chris Jericho thing. After we're done with Jericho, we'll do Tammy's.
Bro, they fucking spared her, in my opinion. They could have buried her way harder than they fucking did. Even the story she's told about herself in like shoot interviews with Sean Oliver and shit, they didn't bring up a lot of that shit that she's even said herself that would have just made her look and sound and come across much crazier.
I love the way it's shot, man. These guys like get how to do a documentary.
Right.
What's the word I'm looking for?
A documentary, a mini docu-series, and even the reenactments are really good as well.
Yeah, man. So I was listening to the most recent Jim Cornette's drive-through or the experience or whatever, and they had Evan on there, and he was saying the other creator was off filming some of those. So it's literally them going out there and that's why those are so good, man, is because they're just a bunch of marks that really fucking love wrestling, and they're just coaching the actors through that shit.
Yeah, and it's two guys who just do what they are really good at doing, kind of like this show at Pro Wrestle Times.
Yeah. Oh, but, so I guess you want to take a moment to talk about this week's sponsors.
No, we'll do it later. Let's talk about Chris Candido. Let's give him that shine he deserves.
Unfortunately, died at the age of 33, but we're not going to start at the death. We're going to start at the beginning. Chris, at the age of 13, was taking the bus. So him and his buddy were planning sleepovers and whatnot. And at the age of 13, he had worked his way into wrestling for little federations around the area. You know what I'm saying? 13 years old, bro.
Yeah. It's crazy. Man. I used to want to be a wrestler when I was 13. That was my dream, was to have a wrestling ring in my backyard. He went and built one.
Right. Yeah, man. So basically, his first love was wrestling. You know what I'm saying? And then he met his second love, Tammy. Boom. Yeah, man.
It just shows you like women can just do nothing and have that power over fucking dudes to where.
Oh, it's gross, bro. I hate it, bro.
He should have just dumped her, and then that's all. And then things would have been, he would have abused less shit. He would have gone further in the WWF. God damn it. Chris Candido, we love you. Anyways, continue.
Yeah, man. So he talking about bailing, he actually bailed on his prom date for Tammy. So that's how in love with her she was. And the best part of this episode popped up right after this. My man Corny was there. It was a Jim Cornette episode, so that was super sweet. And that was the thing, is basically Corny is who put Chris and Tammy on. At the young age of 18, Chris asked his mom if he could go down there and wrestle for Mr. Cornette and whatnot. So that's how that started.
There you go.
Yeah, and it was really Corny who took the two of them and really started developing the style. You know what I'm saying? And so when he originally brought Chris in, he gave him a baby bonnet, and that was the thing about Chris, is they were saying he understood that it took like more than just your little move set to get you over.
Sports entertainment, yeah.
What?
I'm LA
But
Knight Steve Austin.
yeah, I know we keep doing it, dude. Yeah. T-shirt.
Yeah, dude.
Oh shit, we do that one a lot.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's kind of transformed.
Oh shit, man.
I can't wait till someone goes back to like when we have like 100 episodes and someone that's just like massively going through our shit and like just watching it evolve. They were all like, man, it started off as LA Knight, and now
Somehow turned into Stone Cold, and now it's somehow an amalgamation of both.
yeah, it's Stone Cold Night. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyways, man, so after the baby bonnet thing is basically when Tammy came in, and Corny really helped Tammy become a great heel, man. And basically what he had her do was mimic the Hillary Clinton shit that was going on at the time, you know. And I guess I don't know, man. I don't know what our demographic is here. What's our key demo, bro? Does our key demo know about Hillary Clinton, or do you want to tell people about Hillary Clinton here quickly? Or
Well, so basically, I don't know. It depends. Like, depends where you're getting. What do you want me to say here? Because I might need to watch what I said. No, I'm just kidding.
okay,
So at the
well, so
time,
like
there was a big movement of Hillary Clinton was a young and at the time considered like cute and sort of attractive. For whatever reason. I'm sorry. I'm just kidding. Uh, she was people didn't like her, especially down in that geographical area of the United States, because of one, she was a Democrat, and two, she was like like really piping up as a first lady and really showing foreshadowing that she was essentially politicking back then when there wasn't really women doing that, and she was really parlaying her husband's position as president into her career politician status, which we'll leave at that. But it was rubbing people the wrong way back then, especially with like the whatever you want to call it, third wave feminists, maybe 2.5 wave feminism that was going on at the time. And so, yeah, Cornette exploited that and basically had Sonny wear the sweaters with and do the hair the same way and talk in the same tone. And pretty much what happened was Sonny just got it instantly, and one take, boom, was knocking it out of the park, and knew, yeah, it was basically Hillary Clinton healing on the good people of the Midwest, down south of America.
yeah, that was basically it. Was Tammy got really over?
Yeah, got extremely over, and then the WWF obviously
Yep.
scouted her out because they've always had a good relationship with Jim, and they brought Candido in as a body Donna alongside Bruce Pritchard's brother.
Yeah,
And
Tom
Pritchard, Dr. Tom Pritchard, and their manager was Sonny, who WWF, of course, gets their hands on her and go capitalize on the sexuality, capitalize on her stunning beauty, and she was really the first like internet icon. I mean, I know people say, "Oh, if you think the Bloodline is one of the greatest storylines, you didn't live through the Attitude Era, or you didn't live through early WWF." But Hairline, I'm pretty sure we both spent a lot of time on Google and LimeWire downloading Sunny pictures of Sunny and shit like that.
They said AOL, man. Do you remember AOL?
Oh, of course, bro. Of course, bro. I remember like dial up. I remember floppy disk games on floppy disks.
Oregon Trail.
Bro, yeah. So anyways, yeah. So they go to the WWF. Candido's living out his fucking dream. Ultimately,
they became the Body Donnas, which was basically they were like athletes, you know what I'm saying? And Tom Pritchard was the third wheel.
Yeah. And they were like the body break for those folks in Canada, Canadians like myself. You remember the commercials with like, I'm whatever and Luann McLeod, body break, and it's like those two that's like what the Body Donnas were, it was like a rip off of that.
Show me it off, Bob.
Oh, I will, dude. It's so Canadian and so funny. So yeah, basically Candido starts getting into pills. He starts getting into alcohol. He never really was into it, but in his adulthood rather, and being around the boys, and with, let's be honest, Sammy, I'll talk about it, fuck her. She talks about
No, it's basically he broke his neck is what led to the pills here, though.
Right. But I'm sure he was also like knew that his chick, the love of his life, was fucking the top guy in the company. She's told stories about Michaels walks up to her, sticks his dick against her, and goes, "Do you feel it?" And then she's like, and then they start fucking around. I mean, so that's kind of fucked on Michaels's end. At the same time, cats and dogs. I'm not going to police what people adults do or whatever, but and she obviously wanted that. Obviously, I think that's her recount of it. I'm sure Michaels was like, dude, she was on me all the like everyone. There's a two-way street, but what I'm saying is like she was not ride or die for that dude, and obviously
Right.
that had shit to do with it. And then you got Michaels accusing Bret Hart of smashing Sonny, which do you think he didn't? Come on.
I don't know. Did he?
Hey man, the hitman. Hey, the hitman.
Oh, okay, yeah. Now that we're talking about the fucking
No, man, he would never do that. Fucking but he would never do that. But like that's all I mean, dude. And there's stories of other wrestlers have of her trying to blow them while Candido's like sleeping in the other room, and she's trying to do. There's all these stories, man. So they actually let her off lightly on all of this, and I think this shit obviously weighed on Candido as well. But ultimately, yeah, he broke his freaking neck, and yeah, he got on the drugs hard.
Yeah, man. And then the locker room basically bullied him out of there, bro.
And they're bullying him. Why? Because his chick walked all over him and cucked him.
Yeah.
And so that let the other guys think that they can walk all over him and cuck him. And that shit made him depressed and take pills and alcohol to want to kill himself. And that's what men do. And that's why I just want to say to folk out there, there's so many people crying about like, why are there all these men's podcasts talking about men's feelings and rights? Well, because we spent the last decade or so only overcorrecting for all the shit in the past. Now we're at like an overcorrecting stage to where now there's like this crazy like fucking, and I'm not too educated on like Andrew Tate, but like Andrew Tate and all this shit. That's where it comes from. But the thing is we don't talk about men's issues and we don't talk about how this is the shit men face in society. Like women protect other women and women support women. Women don't understand that like that's all like they don't get that like men just want loyalty so badly. Like that's like almost all we care about is just be loyal to me, like, and it's like you embarrassed him. And so many men walk through life like this where their chicks are fucking their bumholes are out on fucking Instagram and shit, and they have to walk around life where like their coworkers can just look up your titties on the IG, and then you wonder why like dudes are fucking like, you know what I mean, dude? Like it's why there's a fentanyl crisis and dudes are fucking like over like for real though, man. Like you want to like sorry I'm getting real in this like glum ass episode, but
we'll do what we want.
Yeah, man. It's like I'm just saying, like, think about this was happening back then. Like Candido, why did he get bullied? A guy who could shoot probably slapped the fuck. He was a real athlete training since he was a preteen, a young boy, man. He could probably slap the fuck out of half the locker room.
Yeah, I can't believe he didn't just beat their asses. That's the crazy.
Well, because why? He's gonna slap out the top guy. He's gonna slap Shawn Michaels. He's gonna slap Bret Hart.
Right, yeah, that's a good point. Yeah,
and that's the other thing. Maybe he thought he couldn't break up with Sonny too because what is she gonna get him buried? She'll just run to Michaels and get me buried. It's career suicide almost, man. They break up eventually, and he
found ECW.
He goes to ECW. Actually, Tammy's with him then, but and especially her substance abuse is getting far too egregious.
Yeah, and what's going on here is Candido's doing the blonde bombshell every night, and it's just like off the top rope even sometimes, and that really was just fucking up his back and shit, man. And that's what led him into the somas and whatnot. Just want to quickly nutshell somas for the listeners.
Somas are just like a muscle relaxant, and they just fuck you up beyond belief, dude.
Yeah, man, pretty much. So yeah, that was their extent here in the ECW was them on drugs and whatnot.
And when people are pointing out how bad Sonny is on drugs in ECW, that's a problem.
Right. And then so like Paul Heyman makes this promo about her being an addict and whatnot.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah, and it basically like it's just exploiting the whole situation and whatnot. It's like Courtney was saying, man. You can watch dogs fuck on the side of the road, but should I put it on television? You know what I'm saying? Like basically saying just because she's an addict, you know, doesn't mean like it should be on television. From here, Tammy and Candido start doing the flight bookings for ECW and flying in uh wrestlers and whatnot.
Yeah, they're doing like
Right.
relations travel. They're working with wrestlers and stuff. Basically, Heyman's just trying to keep them working backstage for him. The checks stop rolling in because Heyman's always bluffing the boys. And then and there's infamous stories on that. And I'm surprised there wasn't Paul Heyman on this show at all, but he's probably busy. And then basically like Candido and Tammy, they start going to Puerto Rico. They start, going to Japan. Candido's all out of fucking shape. He's got a gut.
Yeah.
He's depressed. He's miserable. And basically he starts getting upset at these young boys. And he's like, damn, what's going on with these young wrestlers? They're not taking it seriously. Like, dude, when I was 15, I was bigger than these guys and could throw these guys around. Like, they're not taking this serious. And he basically had a self-reflective look in the mirror moment and was like, what the fuck? I can still be that guy. What the fuck am I doing?
Well, yeah. And so like speaking of the whole Puerto Rico thing, it's too like they played that clip of Tammy talking, and it's like she said like guys would buy beers and then like they would like piss into the cup and throw it on their heads and just crazy shit like that. Throw rocks, throw batteries, all that.
Yeah. They're down there. Basically Candido goes, yeah, I'm going to get back in shape. Him and Tammy are broken up at this point. Chris is like, I'm going to go to TNA. He goes to TNA, which is thriving at the time. And he basically body donnas up and he teams up with a couple of fellows. I forget who they were at the time. And he just starts putting on great matches again and helping get young guys over. And he twisted his ankle off at an event.
Yeah, unfortunate, bro.
Kept flying around the country going to work. And I had always thought that the WWF had put him on a plane and then he fucking died. So there you go. Here's my Mandela effect. I didn't realize like he was working for TNA. He had chose to fly around multiple times, which like, okay, you do it once. You shouldn't even be doing that, So he gets a blood clot. It travels to his heart or whatever. It infects him. He dies. Tragic as fuck. The most tragic way someone with that type of talent who uses their body for a living could ever die. This is some compelling shit, man. And I was always such a huge fan of Candido and Sonny growing up. And yeah, man, another great episode of Dark Side of the Ring.
Yeah, well, I'm excited for this season, man. I'm excited to review these and fucking.
What else do they got this season? Do you know?
There's a Abdullah the Butcher episode coming.
Ooh, what about aren't they doing like Magnum TA?
You should be able to bring it up quick if you want.
Or did they already do Magnum TA? I feel like they did. It's crazy that Vice is like going bankrupt and these motherfuckers are just releasing this show. Okay, so these are the ones we have so far announced. Now, is there only going to be
Yeah, so they're still filming them actually.
Oh, there's going to be 10 episodes. So they're filming them as they go and editing them. This is like South Park style. I love this. Okay. So the first was Chris and Tammy. The episode that aired yesterday at the time of recording, so I'm going to watch that tonight, is called Shattered, the Magnum TA story. Fuck yeah.
Look at that. Yeah, you were just, man, look at the ask and you shall receive.
Yeah, man. So Magnum TA is like, one of the most tragic stories in wrestling, just that his career was taken away from him and he had it all, he had it all, he would have been, can't you imagine Magnum TA versus Stone Cold Steve Austin and shit? Like that would have been what we got, he'd have wrestled fucking Hogan and all that shit. We didn't get it. So, and then so they announced the next two. Are you ready, Hairline? On June 13th, Breaking the Cycle, the Graham Dynasty. Florida became a wrestling mecca for decades under patriarch Eddie Graham and his son Mike Graham, but a series of shocking and unrelenting tragedies threatened to eclipse their legacy. That'll be a good one.
Be some corny on that one.
Oh yeah. And then on June 20th, what happened? I can't wait for this one.
Mark it out too.
What happened to Doink the Clown?
Oh,
Matt Bourne, the man behind Doink the Clown, lived a life of unhinged violence and substance abuse until his shocking death left his family questioning if it really was an accident. Goddamn, I can't wait for that one because Matt Bourne's crazy. R.I.P. Um, but he comes from a real wrestling family and he can work, man. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
He
legend.
shot on dudes like Kevin Nash. They buried him even way after the fact when their careers were all said and done. There was still heat there. And not only that, Doink, like other people have taken on that mantle. Like a bunch of other people have been Doink the Clown. And not only that, like to this day, people do it, like even on the indies. But not only that, there's a video of an indie match between Jim Duggan and Matt Bourne Doink the Clown where they get in a fucking shoot fight where Matt Bourne starts shooting on Jim Duggan on the indies. Two old men in the indies. And Matt Bourne's like trying to shoot. And Jim Duggan's like, are we going for real? And like they're gonna really fight each other. So I hope that's in the episode. So I'm marking over that one. So Dark Side of the Ring, keep doing your thing. And please, any of you companies out there, Netflix, someone swoop in and buy this shit so that when Vice goes bankrupt, Dark Side of the Ring continues, because like what's gonna happen if it dies? Like I'm gonna literally cry, dude. I'm so thankful we even got this season. We had to wait like 3 years for it or something.
Yeah, we weren't supposed to get this season.
That's what I mean. So yeah. Make sure you guys check that out.